It's Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Thanks for joining me today. So much happening. It almost blows your mind following this stuff. You don't know what's going to happen next. I will say this, it feels, at least to me, that something big is about to happen. And I don't know if that's a week from now, a month from now, 2 months from now, but we're getting very, very close to something very big taking place. Just my feeling. What about you? Do you feel that we're getting close to some large event, maybe multiple events taking place? I think we are. You can just feel it, in your gut that something big is about to take place. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's going to be very good. This is why I make these videos. I hope everybody continues to prepare. A few articles I want to touch on today. CrowdStrike shares tumble as fallout from global tech outage continues. This on CNBC today. Shares were down about 13.5%. Last 5 days, CrowdStrike is down 30%. IT staffers worked to fix computers. Meanwhile, hackers sought to take advantage of the situation, setting up malicious websites that appear to offer software updates. So be very, very careful out there. And we don't really know the truth of what's happening here. Is there something more nefarious than just this glitch? They're saying that they found the problem, they're fixing the problem, that it was not a cyber attack. Do we believe that? This is, I think, just the beginning of the cyber war that we're going to see intensify in the next coming years. And I do believe we're going to see more of it this year. And I've got to ask all of you, a lot of people don't use cash today. I do. I still use cash. Majority of transactions I do is still cash. And maybe I'm just old school. My friend JD on his Instagram did a video where he showed a gas station, at the gas station, and there was a note on the pumps, all the pumps, that they could not take debit cards, they could not take credit cards. They were only accepting cash. Is cash still king? Is there still a place for cash? I think there is. Yes, it's not as convenient. Yes, it is depreciating. But it is very, very important to have some money out of the system. Get away from just using digital money all the time. Don't rely on your debit card or your credit card to always work. You need to have physical currency and physical money out of the system. But that video that JD shot is a stark reminder that you could go to a grocery store, and what if they said, no debit, no credit, only cash. You go to the gas station, only cash. Wherever you go, it may only take cash. So you've got to have some of your money, some of your currency out of the system, because this is going to get worse. I truly believe that we are going to see big, big problems with our financial institutions, banks, doing transactions. The grid is going to be in jeopardy here because of the technology that so many of these countries now possess. And we are not making friends, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of enemies out there, and they're going to use this advanced technology to make our life miserable and shut us down. And if you want to trust in the system, if you believe everything is going to be okay, that your computer is going to turn on, that your credit cards and debit cards are going to be fine, and that you're going to be able to access your money through a bank app, God bless you. I hope that you're right. But if you're wrong, you're going to be in very, very big trouble. Here's one from CNN. It's becoming harder to get and keep a car. Greg Cook, in this article, the CNN article, he had to get another vehicle after his 2010 Honda gave out back in May of 2022. And so he had to make a choice of having no car. It said here that he was going to, he had a job that was going to be ending shortly, so he was going to have to get a new job, and he was already filling out job applications. And the question that at every job application he filled out asked was, do you have reliable transportation? So he did the math and he went and bought a new car in 2022, probably the worst time you could buy a new car. It says here between his car payment, his insurance, his fuel, and his maintenance costs, it's taking a 30% share of his monthly budget. This is not his mortgage. This is not rent. This is his car. His car is taking 30% of his monthly budget. He can't afford to keep the car. He can't afford to not have the car. And I think a lot of people are in that position because especially here in California, if you don't have a car, because a lot of people drive 40, 50, 60, 70 miles one way to work. If you don't have a car, you're not going to have a job. You will not be working. So it's a situation where people really can't afford it, and they can't afford to not have it. They have to have a vehicle. Cars, again, especially here in California and probably where you live too, in most of the country, cars and trucks are lifelines. People don't have a car or a vehicle, they're not going to work. They're not going to the grocery store. They can't take their kids to work. It's one of the most important things people have today is a vehicle. And we look at the repossessions in 2024, they're up 23% from last year, which was up. And we're up another 23% this year already. So obviously a lot of people cannot afford their vehicles, and a lot more people are going to be losing their vehicles. But what do? I mean, you could say buy a more inexpensive vehicle. Yes, I think a lot of people spent way more than they could afford, and they could have probably bought a less expensive vehicle and opted not to do that. Some people at the time bought what they could afford. Now life has changed. Inflation's gone way up. The cost to repair cars has gone way up. Insurance has gone way up. Inflation continues to be a huge problem. The cost of living is going up. Food's going up. And now it's a real hindrance making that car payment because everything else has gone up. Just a repair and your car insurance alone and fuel prices has changed everything. And so a lot of people who once, a couple years ago, could afford their vehicle no longer can. So the question is, how bad does it get? How many more repossessions? How many more people won't even have a vehicle to get to work? Lose the vehicle, lose the job. Here's one from the Hedge today. Cash-strapped consumers flock to McDonald's on $5 meal deal. They're extending the meal deal to the end of this year. And this is now what people are relying on. This is the type of food that they now have to eat because they have no other choice. It's $5. And think about the hard landing we're going to see with the U.S. economy and how desperate people are going to be. People are having a very, very difficult time feeding themselves, feeding their families. I don't even want to think about what's in this food, how bad it is, how unhealthy it is, but people are forced to eat the cheapest things possible now, and they will go to McDonald's because it's $5, and they will feed this to their families because they don't really have a choice. It is getting more and more expensive to eat. The quality of food is deteriorating. And I just don't have an answer. I really, really don't. My heart goes out to people who are struggling, who are food insecure. Just about a week and a half ago, when we found that food line out in Indio, California, me and Enrique, that shows you right there how food insecure many people in this country are. I've never saw a food line that long. It was a mile long. It was about 10 days ago, roughly, we went and saw that. You can go back to my video. I've never seen a food line with my own two eyes in person that long. There was hundreds of cars there, and they say it goes on every Thursday. But people are flocking to the cheapest food possible. They're going to McDonald's for the 5-meal deal. There's probably absolutely no nutrition in this. This stuff is extremely unhealthy, but this is what people are forced to do. Somebody the other day, I think I touched on this yesterday, that said, you shouldn't spend your whole life worrying. And, I say this when I read an article like this. The people that can easily come out and say, oh, don't spend your whole life worrying, you're just going to die anyways, enjoy life. Well, it's easy to say that until you can't feed your kids. It's easy to say, don't worry, don't waste your whole life worrying, until you can't feed your kids, or until your car gets repoed and then you can't go to work. It's easy to say don't worry until you lose your job. It's easy to say, don't worry, but when you're being evicted tomorrow, you're going to worry. It's easy to say, don't worry, but you're homeless now. You're on the street. And now you got to worry about everything, how you're going to eat, how you're going to protect yourself, where you're going to sleep, how you're going to stay alive. It's easy to say, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe these people live in an ivory tower. Maybe they're multimillionaires living down at the beach. God bless them. But most people are going to worry, and more people now are beginning to worry. But I think a lot of people should have started worrying years ago because the writing was on the wall. But if you're not worried right now, you're either extremely wealthy or you're extremely ignorant. So I would say that you better worry, because if you have kids, if you have a job, you could lose it. You could lose a car. Things change very, very quickly. We all need to be worried, and because if we don't worry, we're not going to take any action. I'm very worried about the direction this country is going in. I'm worried about my fellow Americans. I'm worried about my own family. This is why we prepare and walk the walk. This is why it's a lifestyle at this point, because I truly do believe we're going to see some major, major events unfold very, very soon. TheStreet.com, average Americans are struggling to save. The May savings rate was 3.9%. That's comparable to the savings rate back in the 2007-2008 financial crisis. People are definitely screwed. People are screwed. Many people now, millions of people, are beginning to see that there's big trouble, and they're getting very worried. Unfortunately now, they have no money and they cannot prepare. And what's even going to be worse is these same people are heading into a very, very serious depression, a crash landing of the economy, and they have no way to prepare for it. And when we get to that point, what will these people do who are completely broke, credit cards maxed out, no preparations, no food, no water, no skills? The last 5 or 10 years, they worked in a cubicle pressing buttons, and they just really have no skills. And they don't have, the biggest thing is too, people live in a very sheltered environment, and when the grid goes down, the lights go out, and society breaks down, what are you going to rely on to protect yourself, your family, to stay alive? What kind of skills have you developed over the years? Most people did nothing. They sat in their cubicles, they played video games, they watched football games and baseball games. They didn't want to worry about anything. They'll worry when they die. They didn't want to worry. So they added no skills. They don't know how to take care of themselves. And they're completely broke now with no preparations. What do you think is going to happen to these people when we crash land? The economy is going to crash land. It is nosediving to the ground right now. It is going to be a crash landing. And you have millions of people that have no way to feed themselves. They have no way to protect themselves. They're going to have no job. They have no skills. They don't have a mental mindset to survive this. These will be the people knocking at your door, begging you for help, begging you for food. So many people write me and tell me right now how many people are already knocking at their door, calling them up, asking to borrow money, asking for financial help right now. So many people moving back in with their other family members, their parents, their aunt, their uncle, their grandparents, whatever. They can't not afford to be on their own at this point. And maybe that's the best thing for people to do, is to come together. I think as people come together and you have a community of like-minded people who can help one another out financially, help pay the rent, help pay the mortgage, I think this is a really, really good time for people to come together, get your pride out of the way, give up the overpriced apartment or condo, and maybe, have family come together and have that moral support and take some of that pressure, that financial pressure off your shoulders, where you can live cheaper, pay off your debts, and save some money. Just a thought. Great Resignation 2.0 could be on the horizon, with 3 in 10 workers planning to quit in 2024, survey shows. This was on Fox Business today. I've got to ask all of you, where are all these people going to go? Where are the jobs? So if 3 in 10 people plan on quitting in 2024, where will they go? Now, here's a data point for all of you. 7.2 million men of prime working age in the United States of America right now are not working or looking for work. That's a lot of men right there, prime working age, not doing anything. So what are they doing? What are these men doing? 7.2 million, prime working age. What are they doing all day if they're not working and they're not looking for work? What are they doing? Not really a good sign for the direction of this country. I guess when people can just get, subsidies and they can get free money, maybe their parents are taking care of them. I don't know. It's not really a good sign for this country where we have so many people unwilling to want to work. We have people that just don't have passions, don't have dreams, don't want to go out and do something. It's just not a good sign. The hedge today, central banks purchase gold to offset their own money destruction. Interesting article. If you get a couple minutes, check out all of these articles. Invest 15 minutes of your day and do your own due diligence. I think it will really enhance the way you look at things and the decisions you make. Why is the price of gold rising if the global economy is not in recession and inflation is already under control? Isn't that a good question? And I ask right here in America, why are gold prices going up if inflation is going down and it's only 3%? Why are we seeing all-time highs with the gold price? Again, why is gold rising if everything we're being told that things are getting better, inflation's coming down, the economy's not in recession? Why is gold at all-time highs? JP Morgan once said, gold is money, everything else is credit. And that statement stands to this day. Now, last couple articles here. This one right here. Biden's, I'm going to need my glasses here. This one's kind of, Biden's parting gift to the Democratic establishment is a grenade named Kamala Harris, and the only option for the party to not revolt would be Michelle Obama. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. The only person that they could replace Kamala Harris with would be Michelle Obama. Do you think that that's even possible? Do you think that Michelle Obama would even want to get entangled in this mess? I don't think so. Who knows? But Uncle Joe, is supporting Kamala Harris. He gave her the nod, and so now that's what they're stuck with. And if they try to get rid of her, it's going to be a disaster. And the only one they could replace her with would be Michelle Obama. I think it's highly unlikely. We'll see how it all plays out. This last article. Los Angeles Dodgers fans fight erupts after drinking binge. This on the New York Post. I watched this video. I don't know, the game was maybe a couple nights ago, whenever it was. All these people fighting were all Dodger fans. And this is another reason why I don't support these organizations. People have lost their lives at Dodger games. They've been severely assaulted at Dodger games. It's almost dangerous now to go to some of these places. But watching this video, and it started with these women bickering with one another and threatening one another. Then the men jump in, and then one gentleman pours a beer on one woman, and then she retaliates, throwing a beer at him, and then now everybody's in this melee. And you've got, I must say, the security jumped in and really got on top of this very, very quickly. This could have really escalated out of control because there was multiple people involved here. But it's really embarrassing to watch our society today in the United States. Even more embarrassing to watch these women acting like fools, belligerent, drunken fools. But I mean, it's even, it's terrible to see, but it's even worse to see a belligerent, drunk woman fighting other women. It's just horrible. But this whole melee at a baseball game, totally embarrassing. And, I just think, again, as I've said a million times, could you imagine how these people are going to act when they get hungry? How these people will act when the lights go out, when these people maybe don't get their government subsidies or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they're on government subsidies. I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I'm just using these people as an example. Imagine if these people are this out of control at a baseball game, how out of control would they be when the lights go out, when they have no food or water, when they're scared, when they're mad. How are these people going to act? These will be the people that all of us will have to engage with, these type of people right here. And it's another sad reminder of what a social breakdown looks like. And it's happening in the so-called good times. Things are still good. We're going to look back and go, wow, these were good times. I wish we could go back to them. This is how people are acting right now, and this happens every day. And then you look at the crime. That 89-year-old woman in New York the other day, the comedian, sucker punched in the eye, lost her vision for about 4 hours. I mean, if we have people walking around society that can attack 89-year-old women, who can attack babies, who can attack children. We have people at baseball games, women who can attack one another at a baseball game. I mean, think about how out of control this is going to look like. It's going to make Mad Max look like a Sunday school picnic. So, be preparing, have the right, mindset, and prepare yourself, because you're going to see some wild things. Make sure that you're working on your health, getting the best shape you can. Make sure you know how to take care of yourself. Add the skills. Skills are so important. It's one thing to go to the gym and lift weights, but adding skills is so much more important. Get the skills, ladies and gentlemen. Learn how to protect yourself. Learn how to use the proper tools, the proper tactics. Keep your head on a swivel. Situational awareness is 100% free. It doesn't really take a lot of training. Just, you stay off this when you're walking around. You stay off this and you pay attention to your surroundings. I'm going to leave it there today. Comment on any of this stuff. Please like this video, share this video, share all my videos. Make sure that you subscribe. A lot of people are saying that they've been unsubscribed. You have to subscribe. When you do, hit the bell notification down below. That will keep you subscribed. Other than that, have a great day. I'm out of here to take care of some business. Wish all of you a great day. Be safe. God bless.